Alright. I'm assuming that we're on. I hope we are. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a wrestling fan, and so today I'm going to be reviewing WCW Backstage Assault in honor of WrestleMania. Now, this game is considered by many to be the worst of all time, which is why I'm reviewing it, because reviewing a good game is absolutely no fun. However, due to time constraints, because I am reviewing this much later than I was hoping to be recording this. Today, I will just be covering the roster, and tomorrow I should have me reviewing the gameplay up. Although I think you can tell by this demo that the gameplay is not very good, and plus the wrestlers all look like they were just crapped out by, who made this? Electronic Arts. Which is kind of a shame because, I mean, Madden is good. You'd think Electronic Arts would make good wrestling games. Oh, and all you people who are saying kick out THQ to make Data E12 and put in Electronic Arts, just look back at Electronic Arts' history of making wrestling games, not MMA games, and hopefully you'll change your mind. Now then, let's get underway of analyzing the roster. Now, this was made in 2000. The roster in WCW was not very good at the time, but that's why I'm really wanting to do the roster. I want to kind of do a little bashing, so here we go. Alright, Jeff Jarrett, Slapnuts, baby. Oh yeah, we all know about Jeff Jarrett. Runs TNA now. Had a good street housekeeping match with China. Got ticked. Yeah, we all know that. Kidman, if I recall, he was in a feud with Hulk Hogan. If not around this time, then shortly after it. I don't really know why they want him to feud with Hogan, but oh well. Oh yeah, Buff is the stuff. Buff Daddy. Woo! I'm sorry, I'm a Buff Mark. In my opinion, he was the most misused talent in WCW. The franchise, Shane Douglas. He is apparently a luchador now. Okay, I'm kidding, but he did pop up at Data E wearing a luchador mask. His contributions to WCW were limited at best. Vampiro, I like him. Very respectable lucha. I don't really know what he's supposed to be, but he's cool. He was in a feud with Sting and had that Human Torch match, which kind of ruined a otherwise. I think it's the feud itself gets way too much rip, but that match was bad. Mike Awesome, rising up from the land of the living, he's a modern day gladiator. I'm sorry if I pissed off any ECW fans over butchering that song. I'm wondering, was he the fat chick Thrilla at this point? I don't know. Kimberly Page. We all know we want to play as Kimberly, even though these games were, well, she looks like crap too. Although that picture does not do her justice. I mean the main picture, not the picture with the attire and stuff. The picture that just shows her face. And Tori Wilson, who is... Isn't she dating Derek Jeter now? Derek's a lucky man. I'll just... Eric Bischoff, because who doesn't want to play as Eric Bischoff? And, man, he's always done a good job of looking like douchebag of the year. Vince Russo. Again, who wouldn't want to play as Vince Russo? I wonder, is that the Washington Nationals logo? I wonder if they had to pay them for that to be in the game. Chris Candido, an often overlooked talent. I love him. He is one of the best ever. Well, not one of the best ever, but he's up there. He should have got more than he got. David Flair, the son of Ric Flair. Ric Flair has Space Mountain. David has a Kmart truck. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about him. Ron and Don Harris. I can't... Weren't they like security or something? I don't know. I forget about them. I just know they were twins. The Booker Man, Booker T. Oh, and if you want to, you can also play as G.I. Bro. I think when you start the game, he is the World Heavyweight Champ, but he's not on here because I won someone else the belt. Corporal Cajun, a member of my best friend Anthony's favorite stable, the MIA Misfits in Action. He has one of the less silly names. I do have to say that. He kind of got lucky there. Kevin Nash, who at the time was a legit main eventer. I can't really say much bad about him because I like Nash. I also like Scott Hall, but boy, he screwed up his life. I think after this, it starts to get really bad. Oh, yep, there it is. The Hulkster, Hulk Hogan. You know, the only reason why he's U.S. champ is because, well, I don't know. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, who I think started out as U.S. champ, he is on that boat of people who need to retire ASAP. I'm sorry, I love you, Rick. Woo! But you're not styling, profiling anymore. You're more limping and gimping now. Sting. Sadly, you can... Well, yeah, you can. You can play as the old school Sting. He still has he might have 1 or 2 years left in him, but he's starting to get up there too. He's I know a lot of people would already say he's up there, but he's in better shape than Hogan and definitely in better shape than Flair. Bang! DDP. Turn up the Smells Like Teen Spirit up in here. Okay, I'm sorry, but he's awesome. The total package, Lex Luger. He's one of those guys who they always tried to make a main eventer, but his push either got screwed up or he just wasn't very good. Don't get me wrong, I like Lex, but he just never really could be a main eventer. And then Elizabeth. I'm not going to say anything disrespectful about her. She is one of the greats. She passed away not too long ago, so... Goldberg. I don't know, again, but I think this was made after his heel turn. That horrible heel turn. If I'm wrong, kill me, but whatever. Scott Steiner, who's the world champ, and he doesn't start off as it, obviously, but he was supposed to be the main heel for WCW, which he was for a while. He did a good job of being that destructive heel, systematically running through the roster. I've heard a lot of rumors about the Big Bang, that pay-per-view Bischoff was supposed to put on. And I've heard that either Goldberg was supposed to return and beat Steiner, or it was going to be DDP. I don't know. I'm just sharing that info. Bret the Hitman Hart. The most true thing Vince ever said was WCW would not know what to do with Bret Hart. This was shortly before his retirement. I do know that. I think he was in NWO 2000 at the time. Yep, there it is. NWO Bret. I've never seen his NWO retire. Just... give me 1 sec here. Crap, what did I make the C key? Ah, forget it. We'll get to it later. I'm sorry, I can't really remember my controls very well. I know it's not a good sign, but I'll get it down before I actually show you the gameplay. Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, he was in the title picture, let's see, 2000, that means this was after Ben won him at his match at Sold Out. He also tried to kill Arn Anderson with some scissors a couple years back. Yeah, he's a psycho. If you thought Psycho Sid was just a gimmick, you were dead wrong. Brian Adams, I liked him, and I also liked Brian Clark. Chronic was good. I know WWF, WWF, they were kind of lame. They definitely should not have been rushed into that feud with the Brothers of Destruction. But trust me, they were actually not very bad. They did a good job of being a powerhouse tag team. This guy, Crowbar. Yeah. Just look at that pic. I think this is everything you need to know about him. I think he was supposed to be like Daphne's psycho stalker. Okay, I know that's not what he was supposed to be. He teamed with David, but I don't really know what his deal was, other than the fact that he has a crowbar. And then Captain AWOL. Um, I don't know anything about him, actually. I know that his debut was kind of a big deal, I think. Forget it. Tankabot, MMA fighter, MMA legend. He fought back when, you know, MMA was only popular in bars, and he basically learned by bar fighting, if my information is correct. Lance Storm, who, boring. Actually, he was not bad on the mic. It's just he didn't have much of a personality, which actually I think made him better on the mic. Also, I totally think they should have let him win the world title back when he was winning all the belts. I think that would have made him awesome, and I think he could have done it, but WCW doesn't agree with me, and I'm sure some fans don't agree with me, but I think Lance Storm was another guy they badly misused. Norman Smiley, the reason he's wearing he was like in the hardcore division, and I think he was also backyard champ about this time. And he was scared of the hardcore style, so that it was a little funny at first, but it got old quick. Evan Courageous, Shannon Moore, and Shane Helms. 3 count. I don't know what happened to Evan. Shannon went on to become an Attitude follower. And, if I recall, he was also a Punk for a while. I still don't get that. And then Shane Helms, who, of course, went on to become Hurricane Gregory Helms, and he was a great performer. I still think that... I still wish he was with the WWE, but, oh well. La Parka! He's awesome. Chairman of the WCW. Enough said. Next, Medusa. Oh my god. A good case of plastic surgery gone horribly wrong. Not as bad as China, though. Nowhere near. Mana, who would go on to become Molly Holly, and she is also a great female competitor. And in my opinion, I actually think she's one of the sexier women in wrestling history. So shoot me if you disagree, but I loved Molly Holly. Miss Hancock, yeah. She was also known as Sky, but she is, of course, Stacy Keibler now, and she's dating George Clooney, so ha-ha to all you girls who loved Clooney. Man, I wish I was George Clooney. Johnny the Bull Stamboli and Big Vito, I believe they were the, oh my lord. They were like a mafia, but I can't remember the name of their stable now. Oh well. Vito starts out hardcore champ, by the way. Oh, and Johnny the Bull was in the FBI in WWE. Stevie Ray, who was, of course, Booker T's former tag team partner. I don't know much beyond that, though. Bam Bam Bigelow, a guy that, in my opinion, got screwed up in WWF. I think he's one of the all-time... He could have been one of the all-time greats. He was mobile for a big man and was pretty cool. Oh, well. Jimmy Hart, because everyone wants to play as the Mouth of the South. I use him as a punching bag, because that's all he's really good for. Also, by this point, he was pretty much irrelevant. And then Sarge, the man who, if you can believe it, that man right there trained Bill Goldberg in the WCW power plant. I don't know anything about him either, unfortunately. Doug Dillinger, the head of WCW Security. You know, the guy who was letting in the NWO every night and allowing people to beat the crap out of each other backstage. I mean, he was a top-notch security man, I tell you that much. Asia.